I would like to thank my beautiful friend Peter for coming today to talk about art in many different forms and styles, from being a parent to being a great artist and to being very cannabis friendly. So thanks for coming here, Peter.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. It was, I think I met Albert 8 years ago, something like that, 9 years ago. And with meeting Albert, I soon got to meet you. I remember it was a Christmas, the week before Christmas. And I came to your house for the first time, Church of the Universe. And it was such an incredible experience meeting you, learning about your story. And then I think that same year or a year later, I had to draw a picture or a comic about the new grow shop laws here in Holland that just went through. And I interviewed you for this. So now we're back and we're sitting here again. So it's a cool full circle moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you become a heavy duty papa since that
Yes.
initial moment.
Father.
I mean, both of you.
Me and Albert.
And you know, being a papa and a grandpapa, I really love watching you two become papas. It's like, it makes me cry those really nice kind of tears that you never mind crying, those kind of tears.
Yeah.
Because good papas are hard to find.
Man.
They're not as easy to find as you might like them to be.
No.
You know?
No.
So when you see good papas, even if it's not you, you're really thankful for that being, that existing.
Amazing, Soma. Thank you. That it's my first purpose in life. The kids, where it was always art, or
but that is art.
That is art.
art.
Totally,
being
completely.
a good papa, being a good grandpapa, is art.
Yeah, and art is not always easy. Eh?
No, it takes creativity, patience, and love.
Yeah, and time, but patience. We talked about this today a little bit. You just spent some time in the hospital. I don't know if you want to reflect on it, but you just mentioned something about how it made you even more patient again.
Well, you know, me, ever since 2005, when I had open heart surgery, I've come to appreciate hospitals in a way that I never could before that.
Really?
Because I've seen the good that can happen there. I've also seen the bad that can happen there. And mistakes happen.
Sure.
Misdiagnoses happen.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the wrong pharmaceuticals happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also, there was no way I could not say that healing doesn't happen, because it does.
Right.
On many different levels. And I've experienced it personally much more than once. And I especially like the nurses, the male nurses, the female nurses. Like, being a nurse in a hospital is not super high pay like being an actor in Hollywood or something.
Yep.
But like the dedication that it takes is like the dedication that actors get paid to have.
Yeah, they should have those type of salaries.
But they do it out of their heart.
Yeah.
And for me, seeing that part of humanity existing gives me hope.
Yeah.
Even in the light of Israel killing so many beautiful people, I can still have faith if I see people like nurses doing what they do for so little.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you take strength out of that.
Yeah.
Even though you're so affected by what else is going on in the world today.
Yeah.
Well, it's incredible that you are able to tap strength out of those experiences that you had with those nurses. That's very powerful.
I, at being this almost 75-year-old grandpa, am able to tap strength out of anything and everything now.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or I don't like it, or it's comfortable or it's not, I can still find a way to tap strength out of it.
Yeah.
Even when she bit me 2 weeks ago, still tap strength.
Sure.
Out of it. You know, it's like, what? I don't know why not.
Yeah, no. I agree. But it's life throws a lot at us. And some people just they can get bitter and beat down. But there's always a energy and an upliftness about you that, you've experienced so much in your life, so many downfalls, like hardships, being in prison.
I was a heroin junkie. You know how junky that is?
Yeah.
Ugh. I was a heroin junkie for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years, man. Oh my God. How did I ever survive that shit?
What age were you?
I started doing it. Let me see now. Wait. So long ago, I'm almost forgetting.
Oh, it's good that it's so long ago and forgotten.
Let me see.
So we have a friend who gave you some drops earlier. I think they are starting to.
No. Okay.
No, it's good to really think about this.
I started doing heroin in 1971. And I went to prison in 1983. So I did it for 12 years. And then I went to prison for 25 and a half months. And then I got out on probation. 3 years probation.
And was it during that time in prison that you were able to separate yourself from the addiction?
That was a blessing.
You're right.
Being in prison. Yeah. I smoked cannabis. I smoked cannabis the whole time I was in there. Yeah. Whenever I could acquire it and afford it. But I never touched heroin again.
So in that sense, something that can be experienced traumatically was a blessing. So looking back at it, I bet at that time it was hard. But
after a while, you look at everything as a blessing. Even if it's more of a blessing or less of a blessing, no matter what's happening, you start to look at it as helping yourself be blessed.
Right.
By whatever you do, whatever your actions, your thoughts, your kindness level, whatever that is, helps you be blessed with existence.
Has this insight, did that come to you at age, later in life, or were during those times of crisis, were you also experiencing it as a blessing?
When I was in prison, when I was young, when I was like 30, 32.
Mm-hmm. That's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's young.
When I was spending that 25 and a half months in prison, I couldn't help but discover all the great things that would help me learn.
In prison?
Yes.
That experience.
Being restricted.
You know what? It's striking to me. We have a mutual friend, Stefan. He speaks about this experience the same. That it really kind of helped him.
I love Stefan.
Yeah.
I love Stefan.
He's great.
I really do.
Because you and Stefan have a long relationship.
Since 2008. I remember when I met him at the Cannabis Cup. A beautiful guy. A beautiful guy. A beautiful guy.
A fighter too.
Oh,
Militant.
Strong,
Yeah,
strong,
yeah.
strong, wise, brave.
Yeah, he's a great man, and I see why you get emotional about that. He's, we're working on the book on the grand history of cannabis, which has you in there prominently. We were very happy that we could write good things about you, make a nice portrait of you, and give you a place in this vibrant history that Dutch history is. And you're such a huge part of it. So it was really great for me and Stefan to be able to already have a relationship with you, to be able to correctly display you in the book. We see you as the tree, Soma. You know, the green man, the connector through plants. And I thought it has one of the best, to me, it's one of the favorite parts of the drawing, the windmill and Soma in the tree. The green man with Shiva. So,
Stefan, what a brave guy.
Yeah.
Well, I took French in high school. I wasn't very good at it. I was never very good at any other language but English, unfortunately. I was just not linguistic in that way. So taking French in school didn't help me appreciate it very much, except for voulez-vous accoucher avec moi?
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
But Stefan made me really appreciate France.
Yeah. For sure. He's a great ambassador of France.
Great. As far as I go, great.
He is, he reads a lot. He writes a lot. He is interested in things. He's very open-minded. And to me, a great partner to work with also. And as a friend. He shared many good stories about you and him. Yeah.
I love him, man. I have great memories of him.
Yeah, the Frenchman. Also been through a lot.
Yeah.
Sacrificed. So we were just talking. What I'm also trying to see what I can do today, also for the project, is to hear you speak about your old friends. For example,
like Albert.
Exactly.
One day I walked down, I moved in here.
Meeting Albert.
I moved in here in 2001. One day I walked down there, I think it was 2010, 2009, 2010. And there was Albert coming out of that apartment. And as soon as I looked at his energy coming through the airwaves in my direction, I felt his heart. I didn't know anything about him. I wasn't even totally sure he was Dutch yet.
Right.
But his energy was coming through the airwaves, and he wasn't a pop yet. But already I could feel what a loving papa he would become.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's the best. The absolute best.
I could feel it instantly before I even knew what his name was.
Yeah.
And before I even knew when he'd be a papa.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you met Albert. He became your neighbor.
He was my neighbor then. But
and slowly,
but slowly, we fell in love with each other.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Albert. And how long have you guys known each other now?
Going on 15 years.
Yeah. Intense relationship, man. been through a lot. Yeah. Well, it's good that you have people like Albert around you.
It's
Soma.
great. It's not
Yeah.
good. It's great.
It's great. I feel the same way about the guy. Yeah, he's a good man, and I consider Albert my friend for the past 10 years almost. Studio mate. Yeah. I enjoy having him around for sure.
It's really nice to be able to trust people.
Yeah.
It's a special thing. It's really a special thing. And it always starts with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You got to trust yourself first, but it's really nice when you find other people outside of yourself that you know you can trust.
Yeah, blindly.
Yeah.
The biggest heart. Yeah. And you met so many people throughout your life. So many people have been through this door.
I've had this room filled to total capacity. Like where there is no square inch where there's still some space of
People standing.
being able to stand or sit or
Yeah.
whatever.
And this was for your
And I've
seances.
also done mushroom. No, that was during a cannabis cup.
Okay.
That was during a cannabis cup when
Wow.
we got kicked out of someplace.
Yeah. Everybody
And
come to my house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
The best party.
it was
The
amazing.
greatest event.
And
Well, what year?
there's some photographs of that. I think it was 2011.
Yeah. That's still 10, 12 years ago. That's recent, I'd say.
2011 when we got raided.
Yeah. Everybody came here. Come to my house, guys.
Everybody that I could get to come here.
Yeah.
Because everybody was going, oh my God, we just got our stuff confiscated. We're not going to do the business we thought we were going to do. Like we had to deal with not being able to get out of the building. And me, I was the only one that didn't get my stuff taken.
You were the only one that had
Yeah.
a supply.
63 grams I had in a ball jar.
Yeah.
And I had this paperwork that said I was allowed to have 100 grams and to travel with.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I whipped that out. They had a scale. They weighed it. And they didn't find the other stuff. I had some other stuff too, some hash.
Sure.
And they gave it all back to me. I mean, they didn't confiscate it.
But the rest, everybody got their stuff taken.
All of it.
You're the only one
I was
in
the
town.
only one that got blessed like that. It was just amazing.
How fast did you guys go through it?
How long did it?
How long did it last? The 63.
Well, you just remind me of another jar. It was across from the milk bag when there was a cannabis cup at this place that's not there anymore. I was leaving with my jar of samples that I had on display. I had it in a bag. And I was waiting for a taxi. The taxi came. I got in it. I came all the way back here from the milk bag and realized that I forgot that bag that was next to the wall with the 63 grams of stash in it.
Mm.
No, not 63, maybe more, because this is a different time. And it was gone. The bag was gone with the ball jar. About 2 weeks went by. And some friends of mine got in touch with me and they said, you know, we're almost positive we found something of yours. Outside of the milk bag, we found this bag, and there was a ball jar inside of it. And I looked at it, and I was positive it's your jar from the cannabis cup.
No way. They found it.
And they didn't take one joint out of it, and they brought it back to me.
Amazing. Good people in the world.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
each one of us manifests our individual karma by being who we truly let ourselves be, not fake bullshit, but who we truly, authentically let ourselves be as a human. We help ourselves manifest all the different stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we can blame God for it and go, God damn it. But no, we manifest everything.
Yeah.
We manifest everything, that every molecule that happens around us internally and externally, including me going to the hospital last week.
Yeah.
We manifest everything. And it's all for growth.
Mm.
That's how we grow. Just like plants, just like we learn better techniques of artwork. And it's all about growth.
Sure. Yeah, I see it the exact same way. Every process that I go through with art, or as a grower, when you're growing a plant, you grow through the plant, seeing it grow up, but you also grow psychologically because you go through all the trials and tribulations of growing that plant or making a piece of art.
And how many books have you made before this one?
None.
That's what like if the older you get, you'll look at this period of time, that period of time, and you'll go, oh yeah, that's when I made my first book of art, and then you'll go, then yeah, that's when I made my second one, and yeah,
grow.
yeah,
Yeah, completely.
and so, and the more you're in your heart, the faster you grow.
That book is made with only heart intention, man.
The faster you grow, no matter what you're doing with your heart, if you do it with your heart, the faster you grow with it.
Yeah. We're noticing it. For sure.
It could be a podcast.
Yeah.
It could be a different vehicle. It could be a different apartment. You know, it's like...
Meanwhile, Shiva.
Life is pretty. If you're a good person, you don't really have to worry no matter what happens, even if you stop breathing. It's just a change from this earthly world to
whatever's next.
Yeah, a spiritual. I mean, there's nothing but a spiritual world, no matter what's happening. It's always one big spiritual world, depending on where you're looking from. A lot of people are always looking from their wallet, their wallet. But if you start to look from your heart, and not from your brain either, from your heart. If you start to look from your heart, things go differently. No matter what you're dealing with.
I agree. Completely. And it also, helps if there's a group of people working on a project that are in it with heart as well.
Group energy.
It's
Group
powerful.
energy is one of the crucial things about being a human. To figure out how you can be harmonious with group energy, because there's a lot of group energy you can't be harmonious with.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But if you can figure out how you can be harmonious with group energy, especially if it's group energy from different cultures,
Yeah.
you know, not only Americans, not only English speakers, but Japanese speakers and Czech speakers and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and and y- and Dutch speakers and you know how
It melts it all together.
yes
Yeah.
yes
No, and it's like you say, it can be very challenging because where people work together, there's always conflict.
and
if
think about if things weren't challenging, it'd be so wishy-washy.
Totally.
Probably be boring as hell.
I agree. If it was too easy, then
No.
the challenge is where
The
I
challenge
find,
is where you get the inspiration.
yeah. It's in the beginning of the process where you're looking at this mountain. Stefan came to me to reflect on this project. Can you draw me the complete history of cannabis? I could have said no. It's too hard. He said, "Can you do it?" Like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And now 2 years later, we have a book. We're talking to you about the stories that are in this book. I think it's important that those.
And
are
you
shared.
know, when you do time in prison, it gives you power to get stuff done. Because if you're in prison and if you can't get your time done,
Yeah,
you're fucked.
you're totally fucked.
So once you learn how to get your time done in a situation like prison, you can apply that fucking 1,001 different places. 1,001 different places.
Yeah. But you came to Amsterdam and never visited prison again, right?
Wait. Well, short periods of time,
Sure.
like 4 days,
Yeah,
4 days, 3 days, stuff like that.
here and there, but not what you had in Florida.
No.
You were from Florida originally? That's where you were born?
No, I was born in Pennsylvania, but I lived in Florida for 18 and a half years.
18 and a half, wow.
And my daughter, she was born there in Florida and lives there now still. She's going to be 48 in August.
Do you miss the United States?
I miss people I love there. I miss the mountains.
Yeah.
When I used to go to rainbow gatherings there in the national forest, oh my God, that deep, deep nature.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
Yeah, the Dutch don't have that much of a wild nature.
No,
The sea is wild,
every
but-
time I've landed
Yeah.
in an airplane landing in Holland, it looks like that whole place had a haircut. What's going on? A haircut from head to foot. What?
Yeah. I always think it looks like a jigsaw puzzle put together.
But it's a neat haircut. And
Yeah, sure.
you can see where it's quite thought out
Oh, yeah.
in certain ways. And, you know, ever since I first landed here, I've thought of cannabis. So it's like that part of landing in this place that has a complete haircut was always fucking good.
Complete haircut.
It was always good.
But
It
this
was always good because like you go, well, shit, what an example of freedom in this non-cannabis world. No matter what, they still allow you to have some freedom. And if you get busted for it, they don't crucify you for
Right.
it. You know, they you know, try and get some fine money out of you, you know, fines out of you, but they won't crucify you for it. And you can still get famous even if you get busted here for it.
Right.
You know?
It's an accolade. Yeah. But I listened to your first podcast that just came out with Uncle Stoner.
Yeah.
And he tells this same story of being an American where you experience the most repressive cannabis laws.
Yes.
Flying in over this country that had a haircut, and then stepping into a world where all of a sudden you can live the way you want to live. You're free. Can you speak on that experience some more?
This
While Shiva gets away.
She is such an escape artist. Like,
Yeah.
and like this is the safest place for me to keep her
Yeah.
to
In
make
your-
sure I know where she is.
In your awareness.
Because
Yeah.
she's just waiting for me to not watch in some way.
She did it twice.
But ask me what you were asking me again.
Oh, here we go. What was I asking you? There goes the weed. It was a long question. What were we talking about?
You were talking about the politicians that are snaking around in this time period that we're living in.
No, I was asking you something way more positive about your experience coming off the plane in the land that got a haircut, and for the first time experiencing, God damn it, I'm saying the word, I can live freely.
Oh man, I cried.
Yeah, exactly.
I cried that good kind of crying. That like,
Yeah, we talked about
like
that.
gratefulness crying, that super deep gratefulness crying. And I never stopped having that super gratefulness crying the entire 28 years. I
Never
was
stopped.
there. Never stopped. I'm always kissing the ground I'm walking on.
Sure. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Do you remember what was the first thing you did when you came here? Like the first week of being in this freedom, like how were you experiencing this?
I was staying in the Okura Hotel.
Not a bad place.
I was staying there with Jack Herrera.
He was with you.
And some other friends too. Maybe even Steve Hager from High Times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was there too. And I was in Amsterdam where they have coffee shops where you can actually go and buy some weed.
Go
And you can smoke it in there. You can buy some hash too. And so I was in one of the nicest hotels in the city.
Living a good life.
And it was a Japanese hotel. So I always, since I was a little under 10-year-old boy, I loved Japanese people, and I always had Japanese friends.
Yeah.
And I always really loved them. And I thought they were really good example of humans that could go through heavy trauma and come out absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I agree.
You know,
I see what you're saying for sure. Yeah, very kind people. And you do indeed have many Japanese friends.
I always have. Like since I was like in like 10 years old in school.
There's a joint.
You like it? It's pink glue.
What do you think? Oh, shoot. Taste it with your tongue. Taste it with your tongue, little girl.
Do it. Wie zitten daar zo te fluisteren?
He is here.
One thing about being in the hospital, it makes you really appreciate being out of the hospital, but still appreciate the fact that you were in the hospital.
You're in safe hands, or you're home, right?
I feel like if you try and do the right thing with your energy, you're always in safe hands no matter what.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. I agree. So many artists have come. I know you have visitors like Woody Harrelson and guys like that. They come over to Amsterdam and visit you. And you, what type of
Don't
artist
take
comes
my-
through here?
You're
Music.
taking my glasses off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh, no.
that's your idea.
I'm
now,
taking
man.
your side.
Okay, you can't. No, don't crush them. Don't crush
Oh
them.
no.
Oh my gosh. You have to. Ha, you think you're a wise girl, huh?
I'm
You
taking
think you're a wise girl and just steal my glasses off
Amazing.
my head? No, you can't.
Wow, she hasn't
You know,
tangled
the
up.
same
too,
way
huh?
I could. Yeah, you can't take my. You can't take my glasses off my head. You can if you don't bend them. Don't crush those suckers, please.
Can I help, Soma? Can we do something? Or she got him
No,
tight.
No, I mean,
Wow.
she does everything tight, but she understands too. She knows that. She knows
There we go.
that she has to let
Oh,
them go.
She's gentle with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Amazing.
mean, this.
I thought she was
this
gonna break it.
being,
Man.
you know, think about the ability to live till 50. My cat could never live to that long. I had tarantulas twice. They couldn't live that long.
How old do they get?
They get pretty old, tarantulas. You know?
Did they get away from you in the house?
Yes. I had one of my tarantulas got out and fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
Hit the stairs. And they have exoskeletons.
Yeah.
So if they crack that out, they say you can put nail polish and kind of seal it.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, once they crack that exoskeleton, they're goners.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. So they have their skeleton
on the outside.
on the outside. That's I didn't know that. Where? How do you obtain a tarantula?
At the pet store.
They have them at the pet store.
Yeah, on what's the street? Utrechtse Straat?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Utrechtse Straat. There's Exotica pet show.
They specialize in all these.
And one of the things they got is tarantulas.
Sick. Are they expensive?
Not so expensive. Not super duper expensive. Yeah.
You've taken Shiva out to events too, right? Do you ever take her out of the house?
No. Just on the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do that, girl. And you're not tying yourself in a knot right now. No. What the heck is with you? Why do you want to go in a knot?
She wants a mouse. So in the days that you were running around in Amsterdam with Bernard and those guys,
I would go to Positronics every day for lunch. I go there every day for lunch, and I play chess with one friend or another friend while we were eating lunch. And I'd look at the show and grow that you'd have to walk by to get into the restaurant. And I knew all the different cooks and workers that worked there because I went there every day for lunch.
mm-hmm.
And I remember being in the backyard with Bernard and old Ed and Ed Rosenthal and me, the four of us. You ever see that picture?
Yes.
Yeah,
I know the picture.
So it's like
Bernard's holding his child.
yeah, his child who's pretty old right now.
Yeah.
And so, you know, since that day, right then, and also I watched Bernard be friends with old Ed and watch their beautiful Dutch American friendship.
Mm.
It inspired me.
Yeah.
Inspired me.
Yeah, because is that inspire you in a sense of mentorship or that you...
Mentorship and friendshipship.
Right.
You know, it's like I saw how even though old Ed was pretty much older than me and Bernard, because I'm 2 years older than Bernard, I saw how that time didn't matter. The friendship mattered, but not the time difference, the age difference.
Sure.
And I always liked Bernard.
Yeah.
Since the get-go. I always thought he was brave.
Did you in that time meet Simon Vinkoog?
Oh, yeah.
Because through my project, I learned much about this man, and he was
I really
quite...
liked him.
Yeah.
I met him with Mila. Mila helped me meet him. Oh,
Yeah.
he was really nice. He was really special.
Very special.
Really special.
Yeah, he has a big element in the book, and I learned through this project about him. And first outspoken cannabis activist.
His wife was really nice too.
Kitty.
Mm.
Oh, that's cool. So, you guys, did that become a friendship, relationship?
Oh yeah.
He came here to the house as well?
No, I didn't live here then.
Okay.
What year did he die?
Well, let's look in the book. Oh, wow. 2009.
I did live here then.
He was born in 1928.
Same
Passed
as
away.
my mom.
Passed away in 2009.
Same year as my
Simon
mom.
Vinkoog.
Maybe he did come here.
Because you're a poet.
Yeah,
He's a poet.
yeah.
I bet you guys had some, linguistically speaking, very nice conversations. Deep
We-
thoughts.
We must have.
Yeah.
We must have. I'd go out to his garden place because Mila had a place there too. And
She was there.
And he had a garden spot in the same
Ah, okay.
area.
Yeah.
And so I'd go out on Sundays.
It's amazing.
I'd go out on Sundays and either ride there with Mila or meet her out there, ride my bike there. And then he'd be there too. So I'd go to his little spot. We'd all smoke,
Yeah, of course.
carefully.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always thought he was brave.
Very brave.
Really brave.
Yeah.
Really brave. And I got to hear him speak a few times.
Yeah, he could captivate, eh?
And
Yeah.
I really liked his wife too.
What do you say, Kitty? Yeah. Well, it's cool that you have met so many of these people and crossed paths.
You meet everybody you're supposed to in life.
Yeah.
You really do. Like the creator arranges the karma of everybody you're supposed to connect with, because everybody you find yourself connecting with, there's a reason. Or 5 reasons, but there's always reasons for who you connect with. When I first met Albert, I had no idea we'd be together as we are now.
Yeah.
No idea. But part of me had an idea. The part of me that's not aware yet
Yeah.
had an idea. feeling it internally in a way that I couldn't translate yet. But
There was something there.
something
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
And I always felt that the entire time since then. 15 years. I felt
Yeah, yeah. Strong bond.
it. Yes.
And when you look at, we just talked about, how do you look at the state of cannabis in the world today?
A saving grace. A
Yeah.
saving grace in 50,000 different ways.
And it must have, it must be really exciting for you to see what is happening also
Yes,
worldwide.
Because I've waited quite a while. Since I was 18
Exactly.
when I first started smoking cannabis. Now I'm going to be 75. That's like fucking a wow. That's a wow. And now I see where finally the message is starting to get through. And even with the amazing amount of greed that humans play around with,
Mhm.
the message is still starting to get through.
Yeah, yeah.
Beyond that.
There's
greed.
no holding it back.
Beyond that greed
Yeah.
and category.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the healing category, that's the strongest thing about cannabis. The fact that it can heal. And to heal you financially is also a way.
Sure.
You know, not just physical healing or mental healing, but financial healing is also important in life. Because if you don't have the right finances, unless the world changes from the way it is right now, you can't really have a successful life. You can't travel. You can't discover new things. You can't buy art supplies. Even,
No.
right?
I know.
You know, so it's like you have to develop that financial part of your human life too.
Oh, I totally agree.
But right livelihood, like Buddha, you know, like right livelihood, how you're making your living.
Yeah.
How that's super important.
I'll give you an example of what usually happens in my field of work. A creative. A kid's creative, grows up, likes to draw, likes to make art, gets older, gets into school, has to pick a direction for study. And if they go a creative route, they go out of school, they graduate, and usually what happens, they get sucked up by the advertising industry. They work for these big agencies that make art to sell products, usually terrible
Madison Avenue.
terrible products. But I didn't want to use my artistic talent to help market and advertise terrible products. I wanted my art to represent something healing, something positive, which is the cannabis plant.
Yes.
And 8 years ago, I told myself, fully focus on cannabis. There's the right energy. This plant is allowing me to live a life as an artist and draw things every day that I enjoy and that I can share with the world and tell a positive message about cannabis. It's incredible, the power of that plant.
Oh yes. It's so magical. Oh my gosh. So magical. So magical. So helpful.
Yeah. What it does for me, it makes me milder to myself. I can be very motivated, ambitious, always wanting to work, lacking patience. When I smoke in the evening after my day's work's done, me and my wife sit down, we have a conversation, we talk about the kids.
She smokes too.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
And we smoke together, we talk about the day, and it makes
It's
me
bonding.
mild.
It's bonding.
Totally bonding. And we laugh and we forget about the
Me and Albert
seriousness.
have bonded so much in the last 15 years because of using cannabis with each other, using mushrooms with each other, using bufo with each other, using cannabis oil with each other. Like it's helped us bond
Yeah.
super deeply.
Yeah.
I can still remember being at La Florida in the swimming pool with Albert, Jesse, and Jake in 2015. And Albert was filming us in the pool. That was before he was a puppet.
Young Albert.
And now what was inside of that oil?
Okay, let me. Forgot it was there.
Shake it a little bit.
The truth serum.
Now it's clear. It was dark before. No, I'm teasing.
No. It's
I'm
not.
teasing. I'm teasing.
Some cocktail or something.
No.
It's all the leftovers.
It's
The truth
oil
serum.
for healing. Medicine. Definitely.
Nice. Yeah. I also, if you care to share the story of your old friend Sam the Skunk Man, and that he came here. And
Okay.
I don't know if you already talked about it on
In the old days, when me and Sam were born the same year. He's July 25th and I'm August 22nd. No, wait. He's July 23rd. First day of Leo. And I'm August 22nd, the last day of Leo. But the same year. And I've known him pretty much the whole time I've lived here. And he's a transplanted American like me.
Mm-hmm.
So we've always enjoyed smoking with each other. Cannabis cups, in between cannabis cups. He'd always like to come here and get high with me.
Yeah.
So, and when he would come here and get high with me, it'd be like a minimum of 2 hours nonstop smoking strongest fucking shit either of us had available. And he wasn't smoking weed no more. Only hash. So, like, if I was going to smoke with him, I couldn't even smoke weed because he didn't want to smoke weed. He only wanted to smoke hash. And the top quality hash you could come up with.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah, the best. And so we be smoking up a storm. 2 hours smoking his hash and whatever hash I had. But usually his hash was better. We would get stoned out of our fucking minds by the time he would have to go home, you know? So we said goodbye to each other, gave each other a hug, we left. I talked to him like 2 or 3 hours later. And I said, how's it going? That was a fucking great smoke out. And he goes, my car got stolen. And I said, you're kidding.
You're
man."
kidding.
He says, no. I went back to where my car was parked and it was just an empty space. And I said, that sucks, man.
Yeah, big time.
That sucks. And he says, it even sucks worse because it was my wife's car. And she really liked it. She really, really liked it. And besides the car being gone, she's not going to really want that particular car to be gone.
Yeah.
Because
It's your wife's
She
car.
doesn't. She's not going to think how she's going to replace it very easy because of the sentimental value that they have with each other. He went home. Came up with the courage to tell his wife what had happened. And I didn't see him for a while. About 2 months went by. And he got a call from the police, from the government, saying that they had located his Volkswagen a couple of blocks from here. And the entire windshield was covered with parking tickets. The entire, like from the top of the windshield down to the bottom. If you had to drive with it like that, you couldn't see shit.
That's amazing.
And so, sure enough,
They located it.
he went to where it was, and he remembered that that's where he parked it, not this other spot where he thought he parked it. He thought he parked it on Prinsengracht,
Yeah.
and he parked it over here,
No
like
way.
on one of these streets.
It was a good session.
Ooh, they were all good sessions, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
particular
Yeah.
one was like early dementia.
Dude, where's my car? Completely. In real life. Not a movie. That's awesome. Good memories. Great memories.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
story.
I love that guy too. I remember going in his big greenhouses, and he would have like plants that were like 20 feet tall, fucking gigantic colas, and all these different labels and genetics. And he loved to smoke hash.
Did he smoke it? How did he smoke it?
In a pipe.
Pipe. Always in a pipe.
And he would also give you a ball to eat.
Eat it.
Yeah, the first time I ever actually ate hash, that quality of hash, I did it when I was in America before I ever lived here. I would make candy with hash, but the first time I ever ate just a
full
straight little
ball
ball
of hash.
of black, he gave it to me.
How was that
And
experience?
I came back here.
Yeah.
My granddaughter was about 3. Now she's 23, but she was about 3 back then. And she lived here. She lived here at that time. So she wanted me to tell her a bedtime story. So I started telling her the 3 little pigs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, there was 3 little pigs, and they went off to build their houses. And the first little pig built his house out of straw. Oh, the snake.
She's there.
Maybe I was watching also.
The little piggy ran home.
You make me fun because I was watching it like versus
Dude.
And so then I started to tell the story of the second little pig, and I went,
Grandpa fell asleep.
and that got me so, thank God other people were here that could help, because that got me so deeply out of my body.
Really?
I had a total out of body experience. The deepest I ever had on hash that time.
Really?
All the
By
different
eating
times
it.
I've eaten it, I never had an out of body experience like that time, 20 years ago.
It's a psychedelic. Wow.
And I used to, when I lived in America before I moved here, I would make these things called Moroccan surprises. They were made out of dried fruit, really good hash, butter, and dried coconut balls around. There was dried coconut around the outside of the balls. They were like, 2 bites.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had people have meltdowns on those times.
Outer body experiences.
Like just going in a bathroom, locking themselves in the bathroom, getting under the sink because the sink had a space, and having to rescue them out of there. Like, hey man, it's okay.
You're gonna be all right. Oh man, intense.
Yeah,
And they're called Moroccan surprises.
that's what I called them.
Because they sneak up on you.
Oh man,
Yeah,
they surprised you.
yeah.
And they were delicious. They were so delicious. They were really easy to eat. Has 5 different kinds of hash in it, this one.
Wow. Can you elaborate or tell a story about your favorite grow room? Do you remember a place where you're like, man, this was the perfect place to grow in? This was my favorite spot, or a special one?
Okay.
Or even what was the best soil, or just a time where you were happily growing?
It was near the Waterloo line in that area where the museum is.
Yeah.
A little bit past there. And it was 2003. So 20 years ago. And my neighbors underneath me here, they had this warehouse. That was pretty big. And it was empty. Nothing was happening with it. And they were open to cannabis. So I said, if I buy all the equipment, and they knew how to do electrical work,
Yeah.
which I didn't know how to do. I said, if I buy all the equipment and I help pay the electricity and I help pay for the rent, a certain amount every month, can we do a grow room? And we do. We do it. But in the end, the friendship, even though it's my neighbors and everything, it gets strained because of the greed factor and the power trip factor, and being able to communicate in an understanding way factor. The partnership falls apart. We do the split up. We sell the crop, which was a seed crop.
Yeah.
We grew like 200,000 seeds.
Amazing.
And several different strains. And so, but the friendship falls apart for a while. And not now. Now the friendship has come together really nicely
Great.
for quite a while again. And we're still neighbors. And so that grow room was the biggest one I ever had here. Had 10 600-watt lights and 200 plants, all for seeds. And yeah, it was comfortable because it wasn't in the same place I was living.
Right.
And all the other grow rooms I ever had were like that. They were in a same living area where I was living. That's where the grow rooms were.
You enjoyed having them near you or far away?
Well, I enjoyed not them being in the same dwelling.
Sure. Yeah.
It was felt a little safer.
Yeah.
You know, if it got busted, it wasn't where I was living.
And were you using your Soma bed methods in there or different?
Yeah. Only Soma beds on wheels. I had 10 beds.
Always on soil?
I had 10 beds with 20 plants in each bed. So I had 200 plants. And yeah, and to get to every different spot, you had to have them on wheels so you could move them around a little bit and get in between.
Yeah.
And that was a really good system. I have friends in America that have giant grow places with those beds.
Soma beds.
Yeah.
How big is one? How many gallons, for example, is a Soma bed?
Let me see.
It's pretty big, right? It's a square meter.
It's yeah. Or I think it was bigger than a square meter. In my book, I have the diagram of it, but I think it was a little bit bigger than that. But I can't remember right this second.
But still, pretty substantial amount of soil.
Oh yeah.
Big.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd say each one of those beds had like 250 meters.
Yeah.
I mean, 250 kilos.
Yeah.
Of soil.
Yeah, fuck, that's huge.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna plant outdoor?
Outdoor. I got some cheese seeds from Karma Genetics. The seed packs that have the picture of Milo Young on it. Rest in peace. I'm going to try those this year.
Cool.
Yeah. Got my Soma Sacred Seeds Living Soil are ready to go.
Yes. Oh, there she is.
Thank you for the story, Soma.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Awesome. That's what I'm looking for, like.
Inspiration.
Yeah. Just want to hear stories.
Inspiration with good stuff, wherever you could find it, is pretty.
And it's also the that you're willing to share them. That's I'm thankful for that. So amazing. You can find my art at www.mossygiant.com and also on Instagram, Mossy Giant. Thank you for the conversation. It was awesome, man.
I love that. I love high conversation. High in all the different ways of being high.
Yeah. Thank you, viewers. Stay mossy.
Very nice, gentlemen.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, who wants to smoke more?
Me? Probably